Welcome back to the DNaz channel. This week, we're going to talk about plants and the language that they have, how they communicate, and the senses that they have compared to humans, right? Um, a lot of people wouldn't consider plants intelligent or wouldn't just because they don't have a brain. And people think that consciousness only comes from a brain, but really it's inherent in the world, right? It comes with the world. All animals have it, including plants, including fungi, right? Including the earth, right? Because everything here is a living ecosystem. Okay. So plants do everything that we do, right? They talk, they smell, they hear, they feel, they do everything that we do, okay? Just in a different way, right? They have very little sensors on their leaves, very little like hair like fibers that are almost like eyes of a snail, you know what I mean? Like the looks like a little string with like a water droplet on top of it, and you would have to zoom in very far with a microscope to see these little things, but they have them. They're like little hairs and they sense everything. And not only through the leaves are they sensing, but through the roots, through the stalk, okay? Um they can sense all of the five senses that we can plus around 15 others. So they can also sense gravity, the electromagnetic waves, the magnetic waves. They can see different colors than we can see. They can see UV light, red light, blue light. So they are very sophisticated and they are creatures and they are conscious and they matter, right? They can feel everything we can feel, and they feel the damage we're doing to the earth and they react towards it, right? If we are tearing down a forest or we are putting up a new oil refinery and we're a smokestack and there's a bunch of crap going in the air, they respond to that, right? Um, so we have something called VOCs, volatile organic compounds, and these are dangerous compounds that get released from like burning fossil fuels, but plants actually have them as well, right? So these they release them due to one of their senses, right? This is actually their smell sense. So they can they can smell certain things coming around, so they're able to detect danger, right? Certain animals coming around, and they will release certain compounds into the air in order to either attract a certain animal or ward off a certain animal. Same thing with their hearing, right? They can hear. We've actually done studies that they can hear bees coming, right? So they can hear the vibration of bees' wings, and when they hear them coming, plants will release certain hormones to attract those bees to them because the bees pollinate the plants, right? They pollinate the flowers. It also sends signals to the plant to open up their flowers and to um like fertile, like get ready to be fertile, right? Because they're getting ready to release pollen, right? Because the bees are coming to get it, right? The roots, they can detect vibrations from water. So if a plant is near a stream, right, or even far away, they can detect things from like miles away, very far. And people don't even realize how far a tree's roots go. A tree's roots go very, very far, hundreds of feet, very far, right? And all the roots in the ground are interlocked in a system, right? Just like the fungal network, right? The mycelium network, same thing. The roots of plants all interlock with each other, and they have a system that is under the ground. And these roots kind of can sense each other. They can talk to each other. A plant can sense when another plant is in stress, and it might even help that other plant. Sometimes a plant is dying because another plant is just taking its nutrients because it's more beneficial for the environment for that species to be alive. So that species will dominate the other species, take nutrients from it, and kill it, right? And the plant is also sacrificing itself for the betterment of the ecosystem. So it is helping keep that plant alive. You even have things like mother trees, right? We have these great big old trees, and then you have a system around them of smaller trees or young saplings. The mother tree will help feed the young saplings. So they are very intelligent, right? Just like they also have touch, like the sense of touch. So a Venus flytrap, that's a good example. If a little bug lands on one of the hairs in the center, it triggers it. The Venus flytrap closes, and it eats the bug. Right? That's how you could tell that they have these senses. These they can sense touch, right? And then they can also respond to gravity. They can sense gravity. So let's say you knock a plant over, that plant is going to start growing differently. It's going to send up shoots out of the center of its stalk to start growing upward. So the main stalk will be laying down, and it'll send up younger shoots straight up, because a plant likes to grow towards the light and against gravity. And the roots are also working with the gravity, right? The roots, they're not only to feed the plant, but they also stabilize the plant. So they anchor in the ground a certain way so the plant can be held up. Or like a tree, the roots anchor that tree in a certain position so the wind don't affect it, so it doesn't get blown over, right? And it makes that trunk nice and strong. It wouldn't be that strong without the root system holding into that ground, right? Then plants can detect magnetic fields, right? The earth has its own magnetic field. So where the sun is going and where the magnetic field is changing, where we know that if you put the negative side or the south end of a magnet towards seeds, they germinate faster and they grow bigger. So in the southern hemisphere, plants grow bigger on earth. We know that. So plants naturally detect magnetism, and they will go towards the weak force so they can grow bigger, right? They detect electromagnetic forces, electricity. They actually have their own electricity. They can make their own electricity, just like our brain makes electricity and it sends signals to other neurons. We have neurons firing. They have cells firing, and they use electricity to fire these cells and to trigger certain things, trigger hormones, growth, development, germination of a seed, all that. So this electricity is even being given out by those big mother plants, right? The older trees, they act like a central node, and they underground is called the mycorrhiza, right? That's where all that network of roots are. They, instead of the World Wide Web, they call it like the Wood Wide Web, right? That's our name for it. So the mother plant will share water, carbon, nutrients, right? But it's sent out through these electric signals, right? This electricity, right? So plants have a much wider range of use of the natural forces of this earth than we do, right? And they have all the same senses that we do, right? Plus 15 more. So this is why they tell you to talk to your plants. You can look on YouTube. There's that I forget, like science channel, and they tested how plants react to music, certain music. They would play good music and they would play sad music, and you would see it would affect the growth of the plant, right? So the plant can detect vibrations, right? Whether they be good or bad. You know, if you're talking to your plant that you're growing and you're telling it that you love it and how happy you are that it's around, that plant is going to respond, and it is going to attract to your love. It is going to grow bigger and better because of your love, because it senses good vibration, right? This is why they tell you to go hug a tree, because you're connecting with the earth force. You're connecting with the universe, right? So our world is so beautiful, and we have no clue how intricate our system is. We still have much more to learn, and I want to dig deeper into this. I want to bring you more plant knowledge and how plants communicate. Also, that science channel, they did a study where they would cut the leaves, right? They would injure the plant, and they would put this little microphone next to it. Humans can't hear it, but we heard little clicks. They would send out little clicks. It was like them screaming, right? So they feel pain. They feel pain, and they realize when they are hurt, when you snap a twig, when you pick a leaf, right? So don't just go around picking leaves off of plants for no reason, you know, stepping on certain plants, because you're actually harming it. They are conscious and they feel that, right? They feel that. So love your plants, Love your garden, talk to your plants more, give them some of your love, breathe on them, hug trees, do all that good stuff. Get with nature because nature is going to heal you. It's going to bring you back to that mind state of full stress free and a relaxing mind state, and it's going to bring you serenity, right? um Mother nature has wondrous ways to heal you. You can even sit by a river and listen to the flow of the water. That's the same thing the plants are doing, right? They're listening for the vibrations of the water, and then the roots grow towards it because we all need water to live. And even just the sound of the water is healing to us and our body, right? So remember to get out there, get back with nature. If you want more, come back to the DNaz channel, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.